Hi everyone, my name is Alice. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about two important literary eras in the British history, Old English literature and Victorian era literature. Let's um, let's start with the first one. Now I'm going to talk about Old English literature, historical context. Old English literature began around the year 415 after the fall of the Roman Empire. Also, it was written during the time of the Anglo-Saxon tribes in England. Society was organized in small kingdoms. The people lived in the world full of wars, legend, and pagan beliefs. Later, Christianity arrived and it influenced in the stories of this era. Key literary figures, themes, styles, and language. The first is themes. Um, Themes are heroism, loyalty, bravery, fight, and fight between good and evil. Also, a style. The style were long poems, epic tone, and serious mood. And the language that they use is Old English, um, a Germanic language is different from modern English. Also, the writers in this era use a strong rhythm and metaphors called kennings. Representative authors. The authors are Kedman and Bede. Kedman is often considered the first English poet in the world and whose name we know. His most famous work, named Kedman's Hymn, is about God um, praises and His creation. And this was one of the earliest examples of the Christian literary in this era. Other author is Bede. Bede was an Anglo-Saxon monk and a scholar who wrote in Latin. But his work was crucial, especially preserving Old English poetry in his books. He's famous for his historical writings, especially his book named Ecclesiastical History of the English People, and with documents the early stories of England and the spread of Christianity. Um, Bede always wrote about the Christianism and focuses on God, um, Anglo Saxons, and more. This is all about Old English. Old English have a big impact because Old English is the foundation of Old English writing. It gives us the first epic in English, Beowulf, and shows us the values and beliefs of the earliest English culture in all the world. Now I'm going to talk about Victorian era literature, and this era lasted from 1837 to 1901 during the reign of Queen Victoria. Historical context. During this time, British society changed a lot. The Industrial Revolution brought technology, factories, and big cities. There were also many social problems like poverty and child labor. At the same time, the British Empire expanded in science, like Darwin's theory about evolution, changed, changed religion, and more. Key literary features. The first is themes. The themes are social class, justice, gender roles, science versus fight, and moral responsibility. The style were realistic stories, long novels with complex characters, and the language is more accessible to educate middle class readers with descriptive and moral tones. Now I'm going to talk about representative authors of the Victorian era, Victorian literature era. The first is Charles Dickens. Dickens is one of the most important authors of this era, and he's famous um, for his novels that depict the life of poor and working class people in Victorian England. And the other author is Charlotte Bronte. Charlotte Bronte is best known for her novel named Jane Eyre in 1847. Bronte's writing was groundbreaking for its and strong female characters and its focus of themes like love, justice, and self-worth. In conclusion, Old English and Victorian era literature show how British reading has evolved over time. Each era gave us important story, important authors, and values that still matter today. Thank you for watching this presentation and see you later.